really don't even want to sit up.
You have 2 minutes.
And we're live.
Welcome. My apologies for being late. As you know, I am straight off of work. And this is today's NFL Picked Off. I love that name, by the way, sidebar there. So let's get it started. Let's introduce the fellas into the mix. To my right, I think, or to your left, whichever one it is, we have the man all the way up in Detroit, Mr. Detroit Dom. Below him, who you can't see, he's like the Wizard of Oz, and I don't know why, we have Mr. James Tatum in Philly. And below me is the Forrest Whitaker, the Denzel Snipes, the Sidney Poitier, the Samuel Jackson, the producer of the producers, Mr. Denzel Snipes.
AKA
What's
Mr.
going on,
6
fella?
o'clock. What's going on, y'all?
What do you say?
What's happening, fellas? How we doing?
I'm tired and I'm kind of angry.
Yes. Those are all fun emotions. Yes. Let's talk about it. James, why are you dark?
That's the first time anybody's ever called me that.
Right. Yes. Why are you dark? What's going on?
I was waiting on him to say that. Hey, Wyatt, long time no see, buddy.
Bro,
Mr. Cole,
I left my laptop at work, so I'm going off of my phone.
Okay, so I guess when we're on our phones, we don't get to see the face. That's all good, though. I've been there before. You guys know me.
Fine, I'll show my face.
Huh?
I said, fine, I'll show my damn face.
Appreciate it.
He's got a shiesty mask on.
Thank you. Anyway, come on down, people. Let's get to it. Dom will be back in a second. We tip off with Thursday night's game, which is a big showdown in the NFC West. The winner, because the Rams could lock up the division with a victory here, I think, maybe not, but both teams are sitting here at 11-3. Now, that's a good question here. We have the Rams coming off a decisive, pretty victory. The Seahawks got the victory. Here we are. James, who do we have? You got the Seahawks or do you have the Rams?
I got the Rams. Because you see what the Rams did last week to the Lions, put up 41 points. That's a decisive game at this point in the season. The Rams right now are the favorite to win the Super Bowl. There's nobody in the league that's playing at the Rams level right now. They should be the favorite. And Sam Darnold, in this time of the season, is not that good. We saw what he did last year, lit it up with Minnesota, got to the playoffs, and what happened? He got exposed. So he's going to get exposed again. The Rams got it. They went in the division. That's it.
There we go. You see, knock you down quick. Dom, who you got, man?
Believe it or not, despite James's compelling argument, and it was, I'm going to take the Seahawks. Somehow, some way, I think Sam Darnold gets that monkey off his back with, his record in high-pressure games. It's at home. The 12th man will definitely become a factor. And, yeah, the Rams did kind of thump us last week, but this is the same Rams team that a couple weeks before that lost to the Panthers. So it's not like they're completely unbeatable. Yes, they probably are the best team in the NFL. They are the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl. Taking the Seahawks. I just got a feeling. The Seahawks are a damn good team, man. I think the 12th man wins it for them.
Okay, that's not a bad argument. So, Mr. J Man, you're the difference so far.
All right. I do not think that the game tomorrow, like that sole game, will decide the division, especially with 2 left to play. But I'm actually going to take the Hawks on this one. I actually trust their defense down the stretch. Don't get me wrong, the Rams are still the favorite, and just if they lose tomorrow doesn't mean that they're out of it. If the Hawks lose doesn't mean they're out of it or anything like that. I said the last game that whoever won that game, I said that they were going to split the season series. So the Rams won in the Rams' house, and Seattle is going to win in their house. I've got the Seahawks. I'm going to take them I'm going to take them 27-20. But again, a loss by either team. Anything can happen in the last 2 weeks of the season. I don't think that this will necessarily, decide the NFC West or anything like that. But it will put them in a driver's seat, of course.
Okay, so we have 2 for the Seahawks, and then we'll make it 2 for the Rams because I think right now they're playing as a better team. Seahawks had to squeak on by against a quarterback that just got off the street a week ago and won basically off of field goals, whereas the Rams have seemed to been able to stay in control. They're scoring touchdowns. Their defense is playing great. They've got a two-headed punch at running back. They've got their wide receivers going. And even though, and what's also funny thing about the Rams is that their main touchdown getter was not had a good game the last couple of weeks. He's had decent games compared to his standard. I just think that they're the better team, and I think that what's going to happen.
Not play.
And
he might not play. If you're talking about Devontae Adams,
might not play, but even without him playing, I do think Stafford's playing at a better level to counter that McDonald defense as opposed to what I've seen from Sam Darnold. So I'm gonna split the difference and go with the Rams over here. So we got 2 for the Rams and 2 for the Seahawks. Let's move on to our next game. Remember, it's always exciting over here. All right, so we go down to my area where I'm living in, DC. We have the Eagles. They're coming into town looking to continue their quest to lock up actually, I think you won the division already, or you're locking it up?
No, if they win this game, they clinch the division.
Right. Thank you very much for that, man. So I'm going to just say they're going to clinch. We'll see how they're going to have a chance to clinch the division. The Commanders, familiar territory. It's not to say anything bad, but this is not exactly unfamiliar to them. They're playing spoilers with a really tough, bad team, bad season. So, James, I'm going to take it to you, man. Give me a breakdown of who you got winning this game.
I'm going to quote a former Philadelphia sports coach, Mr. Glenn Rivers, once said the words, "You're not supposed to play with your meat." So when you got a chance to clinch this division, you got to take care of your business right here. So we know how the season has gone with the Eagles and the struggles that has happened. So it's been discussed on the show before. I don't need to say everything. So you got the chance to get it done right now. So we know how the season has been. You win last week against the Raiders. It was the Raiders, but it came at the right time to have a get-back game like that.
Yep.
So you got to keep it up. You got to get another couple wins because after this week, they play Buffalo Bills. So if they win this game and clinch the division and have a good game and they beat the Buffalo Bills, then maybe the Eagles got a chance to go to the postseason with a little bit of momentum. And we don't know what can happen at that point. But the point is, don't screw around. I don't care that it's Commanders. You got to have a serious game. You got to have balance. Running the ball, passing the ball. Cannot make mistakes. Just play a normal game and win. And don't put any pressure on yourself for the rest of the season. You just got to win. Don't be complicated. So I think the Eagles going to do it. I think it's going to be 34-24. And I think Devontae Smith's going to be the player of this game. 100 yards for him.
All right. Mr. James Tatum said, no complication, KISS. If you don't know what it means, look it up. Now, Mr. Dom, who you got in this game? You've got the Eagles, or do you have Washington being a spoiler? You are one to go against the grain in a situation like this. Are you doing it today?
KISS is keep it simple, sir. Keep it simple, sucker. Am I way off?
Simple Sirianni.
Oh.
I wasn't really going with that one, but that is a good one. It was really, the term comes from keep it simple, stupid.
Oh, okay. I am familiar with that.
So you're saying Sirianni is stupid?
More so you're saying don't play stupid.
Not me.
More like you're playing. You're more like you don't play stupid. Do what you know as you do best. Know what you know. But give me your pick.
There's no way in hell I could possibly take the Commanders. Also, fake golf clap to Washington's head coach and GM for finally shutting down Jaden Daniels. They should have done it probably 2, 3, 6 weeks ago. I don't know, when he got hurt the first time. I know Jaden Daniels. I heard a brief interview with him the other day. He said he's really frustrated, gone through a lot this year, and it's like kind of sucks for him because this season did not turn out how a lot of their fans, most of their players, probably most of their front office. I think a lot of us saw it coming. Maybe not quite this bad, but I think we all kind of predicted a bit of a step back, and it
Sure.
continues. Like James said, just go out there and play your game. Don't. I mean, I was going to say, don't look past them because that's how you could lose a game like this. But like you both said, keep it simple. Just go out there, execute. Don't have a bunch of dumb penalties. Don't be reckless with the ball. And yeah, the Eagles should not have a problem winning this game. I see them winning and covering 27, something weird, 16, 27 to 16.
Okay. So he Mr. Dom kind of get a little philosophical on us talking about making sure that you protect your player from themselves. You do kind of feel bad for him, but I will tell you, Mr. Jaden Daniels, if you want to know how it is to maintain success, just listen to speeches that some of the greats talk about. It ain't easy every year. So of course you're gonna go through some stuff. Jay, who you got, man?
Leave it to it's like who would be ballsy enough to compete on the same day with the first round of the college football playoffs? And then the NFL said, hold my beer. So, with that being said, I'm going to take the Eagles on this one. However, I would not be shocked if it was a little closer than advertised. One, it's a division rivalry. Two, Uncle Marcus has kept the Commanders in some games. He was a batted ball away from knocking out Denver. So, like the previous two said, don't overlook them. Go out there and take care of business. Get Saquon Barkley up and running. The same thing you did to the Raiders last week, do it to them this week. But I would not be shocked if it was a little closer. I'm going to take the Eagles 30-24.
There you go. Well, we all got a clean sweep, but I'm going to call this a beatdown. I think they're going to run all over this team. I think they're going to dominate them, stay focused on the task, make sure they keep doing what they do. And I have them winning this game 34-10. All right. So we have the Eagles getting a sweep out here. Now let's keep going to our next game. We go into the NFC North. Unfortunately, our boy, he dropped off the scene, much like his team out the playoff contention, so he's not necessarily caring about this game. Sorry, Dom, just messing with you. But we have the Green Bay Packers fresh off a victory, the Chicago Bears fresh off a victory against a Cleveland Browns team. The Packers, they're at first in the division with the team that they're fighting to win this division. So let me get to you, James Tatum, because this also kind of affects you in terms of seeding when it comes to this division. I mean, the playoffs themselves, postseason. Who do you have in this game, and who you want to win this game?
I mean, I don't really think it affects me either way. I think that when it comes to the postseason, experience is the most important thing. So you're trying to ask me, do I think the Eagles could beat either one of these teams? I think they could.
No, more so. I'm saying
I think they could. However, for this particular game, I will go with the Chicago Bears because Micah Parsons has a torn ACL. He is out for the season, so I think that's going to be a big factor to the defense of Green Bay Packers. And Caleb Williams is a mobile quarterback. He can extend plays and throw the ball down the field. And really, the last time they played, he really had one really bad mistake at the end of the game when DJ Moore was basically wide open, would have scored a touchdown. And he threw that interceptions. But, if things went a different way, then the Chicago Bears will be leading the division right now. So this is what I think is going to happen. I think they're going to score a lot of points on the Green Bay defense in this game. I think it's going to be more high scoring. I think it's going to be like in the 30s, like 30-27, Chicago Bears.
All right. I like to hear that, but I do want to make a notion. This is a shout out to you, Mr. Caleb Williams. Beginning of the season, people was looking at you and your team in one way. Now they look at you in a different way. Consider that as a notion to realize don't let what people think about you stop you from achieving your goals and what you can do as what you are with your talent. Because now we got people thinking you guys are a good team moving forward, which you are. Now, Dom, let me come to you because ironically, I give Caleb praise. I'll go to the guy that has continually to not think Caleb has the ability to get to that level. Now, unfortunately for you, looking ahead at him, who do you have winning this game, the Packers or the Bears?
Well, this is definitely one of those prove it games for the Bears. They've maintained this run they've been on. Up until a couple weeks ago, they hadn't really beat anyone of consequence. Who they beat last week? The Browns. Yeah, they're still in that prove it territory to me. This is one of those ones. It's at home against a division rival. It's heavy implication for the division, and you got to show me something. And even with no Micah Parsons, I don't think they show me what they need to show me. And good for me because we're chasing them both. I don't know who I should be rooting for in this. I think the Packers, because it's the Bears that we need to catch. Because the Packers have the tiebreaker. They already swept us for the first time since God was a child. So yeah, I'll just take the experience of Jordan Love and the rest of that roster, their head coach Matt LaFleur, over a rookie head coach and a second-year quarterback. Should be a close game. Hell of a game. Should be a fun watch. I hope it's on TV. Oh yeah,
It
for
is.
sure it
It's a
will be.
Saturday
It's
game.
on Saturday. Fuck yeah. And y'all know I don't really mess with college football anyway, so it's not like it'll be tearing
Tuning
me
in.
away from that game. I will be tuned in with my popcorn and my. No, I don't own any Packers gear, nor will I ever. But I'll be secretly hate rooting for the Packers. Go Packers for 1 week.
Well, you know what? Shout out to you, Mr. Tyler Ingram, one of the original Four Horsemen and the four panelists on this show, who yes, you guys haven't noticed, he allowed me to take his position while he became an amazing father and building his family. But shout out to your Packers looking you safe up. All right, Mr. J, Denzel Snipes. What do you think is going to happen at Soldier Field Saturday afternoon?
We might be in for another slugfest, but I'm actually going to take the Bears to finish the job on this one. Caleb Williams is one play away from winning in Lambeau, and I don't. Micah Parsons going down is going to be a huge factor, and then they're battling other injuries as well. Obviously, they were healthier last matchup. The Bears picked up from that loss. Of course, yeah, granted it was Cleveland, but hey, you go out there and you beat the team you're supposed to. The Bears haven't been this good in a very, very long time. I'm not going to judge them for getting easy wins, So with that being said, I'm actually going to take the Bears in this one. I'm going to take them 27-21. And also, I think who was it? Josh Jacobs. Last I saw, he was questionable for this game. So if he doesn't play, that's going to be a huge. It might look ugly. It might look ugly if he doesn't play.
Now, what's interesting about that is that the counter to that is Romo Dunze is actually nicked up as well, and he is a big piece to Caleb Williams' passing attack as well. So these teams are banged up, but it kind of expected when you play these teams and where they play. I mean, when you're cold, your muscles condense, they don't expand. So yeah, it makes it more liable to have some injuries. But we're nicked up on this one. I love this matchup because this kind of reminds me of what I used to enjoy in the rivalry of the 2000s with the Brett Favre, and he had to play against the Cade McNowds and the Shane Matthews, and then eventually came over to Jay Cutler. Not too long ago, we had the Jay Cutler Bears versus the Aaron Rodgers Packers. And now we got Caleb and Jordan Love. And I think I am going to give it to the Bears in this one because I always think this was going to be a split in the first place. And I do think when you see your opponent, you can do what you do that differently when you see them again. Look at your mistakes, correct them, and they got a good squad. They got a strong defense. They just got to finish the task, and I think they do. Wow, one of the most NFL's arguably probably the oldest rivalry was the Packers and the Bears. Now we're transitioning over to the next game. Thank you. The Battle of Midway. All right. So, Mr. J's Texans. They are the talk of the AFC because while the Bills and the Patriots were battling, the Broncos doing their thing, the team that everybody overlooked when they were 1-5 is now what, 9-5 or 9-6? 9-5?
Were you
Defense
guys
is
1-5?
Yeah.
We were 0-3, then 3-5, and now 9-5.
Oh, 3-5. So my bad. I had that one. That was my team. My bad. Anyway, I'm wishing I was at winning 9 straight games or whatever. But anyway, to the point though, you've got a lowly Raiders team who's just looking to continue to get the season, look for something great. You have the best defense in the league, bar none. Jay, do you take that spread? Because we know how we feel about double-digit spreads, and that's a high one.
Oh man. I know normally the answer is no, like don't trust double-digit spreads, but it's the Raiders, so you actually would not be out of the realm. It wouldn't be out of the realm of thought to say, yeah, take the Texans to cover, right? But I mean, Houston is just out there getting it done. Number 1 defense in the league. The first defense to knock off 2 former MVPs in the same season and did so in a matter of weeks. Kept the Chiefs from winning their division, helped them from not making the postseason. Just about every sports pundit is saying this is the one team you don't want to see in the playoffs, you know? And, well, you know what? I'll give the same take as everybody else did for the Eagles and Commanders, you know? Don't go overlooking them. Go out there, get the job done. You're still in a division race. We're going to get to them in just a second. But if the Jaguars lose and you win, you both are 10-4, but the Texans would lead the division based on better divisional record. I'm going to take Houston in this one. Give me Houston 30-17.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You guys beat the Bills this year too, right?
Yes, we did.
So that's 3 MVPs in one season that they have taken down. Lamar, Josh, and Patrick Mahomes.
Lamar didn't play, though.
I thought he did. Oh, damn. Dang, this has been a blur for my team. I really thought that was the game that he had played, too. Okay, we'll go back.
To forget.
2 MVPs. Okay. Now we're going to go counterclockwise to continue the trend. Dom, who do you have? No, are you taking this spread? Or do you have the Raiders winning?
I want it. Is Eugene Cyril starting or is it Carney Hands again?
I think it's Kenny Biscuit.
For that reason, yes. For that reason, yes, I will take that spread. Give me the Texans in an absolute. I wish I could think of a colorful noun or adjective, adverb. Mauling, perhaps. Mollywomp. Curb stomp. Yeah, the Raiders are bad, really bad. I'm not too sure what they were thinking with Pete Carroll. I'm pretty sure Pete Carroll is probably not too sure what he was thinking with the Raiders.
He might retire after this. He might be like, yeah.
I don't see him coming back next year. I don't think they'll fire him. I think it'll be one of those, mutually parted ways kind of things. But yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to say about this. It's 2 teams headed in, different directions. And yeah, there's always the storyline of, Raiders get a chance to play spoiler. They're not spoiling anything. They are spoiled, as in spoiled meat, rotting flesh, stinky fish left out in the sun for like 5-6 days, or in this case, going on 16 weeks. Just
okay.
Damn, that's fucked up.
So
maggots. Everything, any disgusting imagery that you can think of in your head.
Liver mush.
Yeah, that is the Oakland, Los Angeles, Oakland, Las Vegas Raiders right now. Spoiled meat.
Interesting enough. I will say what's interesting I've learned tonight is that I totally disagree with both James and Dom in terms of the coaching position, but that's not the topic here, and I'm okay with people having a varying opinion. So now, he just disappeared. No worries. I will go ahead and give my particular take over here. So I definitely got the
He was
Texans
so
winning the
offended.
game.
He's like, "Fuck this, I'm out."
Isn't that crazy? Sorry, James.
And he's
My
back.
bad. Heart. Okay, I won't give my pick. I will give it back to you first, and then I'll
Uh-oh.
deliver
Why
mine.
can I not hear JJ?
What? Oh, you cannot hear me? Can you guys all? Can you other guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So,
Yeah, Dom, leave and
well,
come back
Dom
in.
is giving
Damn,
himself.
I probably fucked it up when I left, but that
Well,
was an
Dom.
accident.
Okay, that's all right. But you're here now. As you know, this wouldn't be a show with me on it if there's not no technical difficulty. I'm just happy it's not mine. Thank you. Anyway, come on, James. Who do you
All
have
right.
in the game?
I thought long and hard about this, and I'm actually going to take the Raiders to lose this game.
He did it again.
What can the Raiders even do? If you can do one thing good, I haven't seen it this season. So the only player on their team is Max Crosby. So if I were the Raiders, I would trade him in the offseason and try to get like some good draft picks and do a full rebuild to that team because they just got way too many problems. So
Now they do have
I think
arguably
the Texans are going to
tight
roll.
end. Okay. Now don't forget they do have an up and coming tight end in Brock Bowers, who people are considering a top
Oh, yeah,
5.
he's pretty good. He's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty
Okay,
good.
so they got 2 players out of 53.
Okay, fair enough. So you guys all taking the Texans. I am too. However, I want to turn it into the, I'm sorry, going to tap into the degenerate side of myself. There are some times where you might get a chance to earn a big payout off of a low risk, high reward. And there might be a chance, I would say, if you guys using FanDuel or Sportsbooks or any of the books there, and you see the anytime touchdown availability of the first score of the game, and it says Houston Texans defense, that might be one to play because you can sack the quarterback, get strip sacks, and against a Raiders team that can't block, then you have a quarterback that has a hard time reading a defense, and you have a defense that can get pick sixes. You have a chance to see if the Raiders get the ball. We know if the Raiders win the coin toss, they're going to take the ball. That might be a play that I would say I'm going to play it. And I think you guys might want to play it too. Just saying, guys, if you're going to do the Texans and you want a low risk, high reward type situation, you never know. It could work out. But that is a good deal because of the matchup that is facing. That's just a little degenerate side of me, guys. Now we go over to our next topic. Not
All
topic.
Right. Hey, y'all! If we can speed up the text just a tad bit, we're halfway done, and we only up 4 games down.
All right. That's why I thought we was going through. Okay, interesting matchup. I'll keep mine brief on this one. 2 teams looking for something strong. Both teams have had decent games in the last couple of weeks. Saints have played spoiler to both the top leaders of the NFC South. James, who you got in this game?
I got the Saints. I'm going to take the Saints.
Okay. Dom?
Saints as well. I feel bad for Tyler Shuck because that's not a great situation down there with the cap. I mean, that team plays tough, and they've kind of rallied around that dude, but he's going to get replaced in the draft. So he basically got it's like a throwaway year, and I mean, I don't know. I would assuming whoever they draft, like it'll be a competition to see who the starter is. But if you draft a quarterback in the first round, I don't know. We'll see. Who cares? We can talk about that when we talk about the draft or next year. Give me the Saints.
There you go.
The
Jay?
Jets are awful. Horrible.
Jay?
I've got the Saints marching all over the St. John's Green Storm. 34-3.
Okay. We all got the Saints over here. I think that you're just going to continue to try to latch on some victories. I will tell you, this is going to be a pretty decent game, I will say, from a prop standpoint. Next game.
That's the Rutgers Kelly Green Knights, by the way.
Okay. Now we have Josh Allen and the Bills with another double-digit spread against an inferior opponent. Fresh off of 4 interceptions, of course. I mean, 3 interceptions. Everybody's quitting on the Cleveland Browns quarterback. Now, we all probably think the Bills. Let's see. Actually, anybody think the Browns going to win? Okay. Now, real quick, 15 seconds. Do you take that spread or not? James.
I would.
Okay. Dom.
Yes. Also, if your rims spin counterclockwise, put your hand down. You are not pimping.
Lord. Jay, you taking that spread?
Yes, I am. I mean, I think Shador does a little something. The Bills might scare their fans in the first quarter, but yeah, I'm taking the spread, man.
I'll be the lone wolf. I'm taking that Brown spread because I don't really trust the Bills when it comes to a double-digit spread. And like last year, after they do really well against the top opponent, and then they go against a horrible team that looked really bad the game before, everybody piles on. So I'm going to follow the money on this one, but I'm taking the Browns to cover that spread. Next game, we're going to go over and we're going to turn over to the eliminated Chiefs without Patrick Mahomes, Gardner Minshew are going against Cam Ward, who is getting there. Tennessee, you ask Titans fans, they love Cam Ward. They got nothing against him, and they see the flashes of what he's doing. So this is not exactly a matchup that Tennessee doesn't look like they could potentially not upset. Now I'm asking you guys, Tennessee or Kansas City? James,
I'll take the Chiefs in this game.
you think Tennessee's going to be competitive? You think the Chiefs are going to roll?
Well, the Chiefs are not very good, so I don't think the Chiefs are going to blow them out. But I think the Chiefs will still win.
Okay. Now, Dom.
It's weird. This is one of those scenarios. Obviously, can't say necessarily a lost season for the Titans. No one expected them to be good. It's not like they had huge expectations and they fell woefully short. But it's one of those scenarios where it's like, you'd love to go out there and show something positive, something to build on for next year with your rookie quarterback. But there's really no reason for you to win this game. It's just going to fuck up your draft pick. Neither team, both mathematically eliminated. Neither have anything to play for. So it's all about, hood glory at this point. I can't in good conscience take Gardner Minshew. They were talking about this guy on the radio the other day, and it's like, he's had all this. Well, I can't say a ton of praise, but it's like he's
an
bounced around.
Quarterback.
Yeah, he's bounced around from team to team. He's a quality backup, but it's like, has he ever went anywhere and turned a team around when the starter went down? Not really. Like he'll win a game, lose the game, win a game, lose the game, and he'll start out by losing this game. Even the Titans, closer than that spread though, and a weird score. 19.
He turned Jacksonville around.
Wow,
it's not like they made the playoffs though. Not with him.
Now, to that point, though, what's interesting is that I will give a shout out to this guy because I will say if they had him as his backup, if Joe Flacco was the backup to the Chiefs, I might have given them a more dominant chance to win this game just because of the fact that he's going to push it downfield. And that's ultimately what some of those weapons can do. But to the point, though, about this Titans team and the Gardner Minshew, and when it comes to draft stock, draft position, I heard a GM once say, and I'm probably paraphrasing, if you know what you're doing, it don't matter where you're drafting somebody. It'll happen and it'll develop. And that's really indicative. So you can fight for the stock, but if you're really building, sometimes you may not need it. Sometimes
These players do not care about tanking for a draft pick. At the end of the day, they're professional players on an NFL team that is not on their mind. They want to go out there and win.
And win. They want to keep their jobs. They want to show their coaches they want to be on a team with them. If not them, somebody else. Jay, Titans or Chiefs? You beat both.
For a young rookie quarterback, and you may not be out there facing the number one prize fighter, but it's still a huge confidence booster if you can take out the sensei. Give me the Titans in this one. I've got Cam Ward having his best game of the season. It'll be close, though. I'm going to take the Titans in overtime. Give me the Titans 23-20.
You know what? I'm going to add that to my lay this weekend because I do think the Titans are going to cover, and I can see them possibly winning this game because I feel like they can run the football too. And they've been running the football in the cold this whole month. Tony Pollard, we forgot about him. He's having a great last at the end of the season right here. Has really helped Cam balance the tide out right here. Cam's doing this with weapons that are not known to people and not proven, and they're still trying to figure it out. And they're not exactly just looking horrible. They can move the football against certain teams and certain defenses. But I'll take the Titans to cover, but the Chiefs win this game. Next up, we have the Chargers at the Cowboys. The Cowboys essentially have ended their chances of getting to the postseason more than likely. The Chargers have a glimmer of hope that they think they can catch the Denver Broncos, but it's going to require a lot of help with them. However, they are fresh off of looking really good to get into the postseason and looking like they're trying to build momentum here. This is a game that does look like a should win for the Chargers type situation because it's Dallas and Chargers are Chargers, but Dallas is the type of team that against a team like this, they'll come out and get a victory. So James Tatum, who do you have in this game? Actually, you know what? Do you mind if I remix this real quick? Because I want to hear what Mr. Dom says, since this is a team he often clowns. Actually, both teams he often clowns. So, Mr. Dom DeRubeis, Charger going Charger, or the Cowboys cowboying?
You smell that? Is that? I think I smell the Chargers chargering. It says Chargers chargering written all over it. Big bold print on the whole that big ass screen in the Jerry Dome right now just says Chargers gone Charger, and here it is. It's a game that you need to win. I mean, it's basically a pick'em game. They're not even giving the Cowboys the full 3 points. But yeah, this is the Chargers chargering. And I think the Cowboys are just a little bit more desperate right now. The Chargers should be because they both need this win. But yeah, this is the Chargers chargering game. And I don't think...
Let me interrupt you really quickly.
I don't know. I lost my train of thought. But yeah, give me the Chargers. Or not the Chargers. What the fuck am I saying? The Cowboys. And now I can't hear JJ again. God damn it.
I was going to say, let me go ahead.
Let me leave and come back.
For a temporary second.
All right, I'm going to go next.
There we go.
You go ahead and then I'll come back around.
Still can't hear JJ.
All right, I'm going to go next. First of all, just to respond to what you just said, you want to talk about chargering? Did you see the Cowboys get lit up by J.J. McCarthy by 9? So, what you think Justin Herbert is going to do to this team? He's going to kill him. He's going to torch him. So, the Cowboys got no shot. And they're going to be emotionally deflated even more because the Eagles are going to win on Saturday, which is going to automatically eliminate them from the playoffs, while the Chargers actually have something to play for. Not only division, but if they win and catch the Broncos, they can potentially still be the number 1 seed. So the Chargers got way more at the stake, and they're going to win. So Chargers.
I forgot that's the Cowboys' only potential route to the playoffs now, right? Is coming back and sealing the division.
They have to go 3-0, and the Eagles have to go 0-3.
Oh, yeah.
More than likely.
Sorry, Cowboys, you're done.
All right. So we have Don with the Cowboys. James, I'm assuming you went to the Chargers
again.
I picked the Chargers, yep.
Yep. Jay, who do you have?
What in the fuck? I don't understand what is happening.
I'm going to – I wouldn't exactly call a 10-4 team chargering, per se. Back-to-back 10-win seasons, by the way.
Dom still ain't paid me the $25, by the way.
I'm just he still ain't paid up. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bolts in this one. I do have it close because it's in Jerry World. It might be a Herbert Prescott shootout, but no. Ultimately, let me get the Chargers in this one. I'm gonna take them 35-28. Cowboy season is done. And somehow the Bolts are still alive in the AFC West.
You know what's interesting about this game is this is the type of game that I could see the Cowboys going. but I am going to challenge my brother to get some of that San Francisco magic again, because one thing I did know about him when he was coaching San Francisco is they got into gear when it came to December. They got into gear and focused on what they need to do to get to the NFC title games. So now I'm looking at him in the AFC. I need you to get into gear, and I need you to beat this team like you're supposed to do, because you have more at stake, as James alluded to. You are the better team, and you have to defy what Dom talks about, which is a Charger going Charger. So I got this. And I will think this is a game to target for a lot of sports overs. NFL fans love the overs in terms of betting. If you want that, this is the game that I think will give it to you, because I see high scoring. High scoring means production across the board. Next up, we have the Vikings at the Giants. We have Ole Miss versus Michigan. J.J. McCarthy versus Jackson Dart. Two guys that, if you watch them play, have provided their teams with the same type of thing. Sparks of greatness, bad play, but starting to level out with some type of, your teams are looking at both of them and like, all right, we do have something there. This is not like we don't know what we can build with this person. This person is showing us they actually might have a spot in this league. So I'm going to go turn it down to just a J here. Do you got JJ McCarthy or do you got Jackson Dart?
It is apparent that Jackson Dart is sorely missing Cam Scatterball right now. I'm not saying that they would be at 500. They would have a few more wins than what they already have. And then considering what the Vikings did to the Cowboys last week, I'm gonna take the Vikings, man. I'm gonna go ahead on and take the Vikes, the Purple Freaks.
Dude,
I think that J.J. McCarthy makes the plays that he needs to get past this Giants team. I really don't think too much about this game. I think Dart will go out there and make his plays, but ultimately it's going to be too much Vikings. I'll take the Vikings. I'll take them 24-13.
You know what? That's interesting. So we're going to get over to Dom as he gets this stuff together. But I do want to point out what's interesting about this is a game of two teams.
And now I can't fucking hear JJ.
Oh man. So we're gonna do it this way because you're coming up to James. But when we get it real quick, that these teams are two teams under 500. But honestly, this might be this is a fun game that you probably want to watch. I will be honest with you. It'll be a bad team, bad matchup, but it's got promise with the type of quarterbacks that we have here. So Mr. James Tatum, who do you have, the Vikings, or do you got your NFC's foe, Mr. Giant?
At the end of the day, this is a much important game for the Minnesota Vikings, even though they're eliminated from the postseason, for JJ, not JJ Jenkins, JJ McCarthy. Because it's at stake for him. Because what is being reported right now is that the Minnesota Vikings is going to pursue a veteran quarterback. They want Kirk Cousins back. They want Daniel Jones. They're going to be trying to go after somebody because they don't think JJ is ready. So, big win against Dallas. Pretty good game. So now, for these last couple of games, you got to do something. You got to do something and show some flashes so Minnesota can somewhat justify you still being there and being the quarterback of the future. So it's at stake. So I think that is a reason they're going to win. Because you're basically a rookie quarterback, but you are not in the best situation to keep your job. So Jackson Dart, he does not have the same amount of pressure. They know he's the guy.
So interesting enough, I will say the interesting thing about J.J. McCarthy's dynamic is I don't think it's his coach that doesn't believe in him. I think it's the other people. And I think there's a battle between the coaches and him. If it was up to Kevin O'Connell, he has his quarterback. He has said it. He has said it repeatedly. And he has talked about, even when he was looking bad, the way he believes in him, he has his quarterback. So when you hear those things out, because I've seen it too, that lets me know there's other people in there. So there might be a battle in this offseason between coach and who he wants and GM and who they want. And if Kevin is the casualty out this one, we might see wherever Kevin O'Connell goes, J.J. McCarthy may go over there, because I think he knows he has his quarterback in his mind. So it's interesting that we have that dichotomy going on with this team because it is a real deal. Now, to that point, though, Dom, are you giving J.J. McCarthy this win, or do you think Jackson Dart's heroics are going to come out on display?
Well, I haven't seen J.J. McCarthy play even 2 competent games in a row all season. I get what you're saying about O'Connell, but it's not like he can go out there and throw his quarterback under the bus and be like, this guy fucking sucks. He has no elite attributes. I don't know why we drafted him. It was a reach. I wanted to keep Sam Darnold. We tried to trade him, and people fucking laughed at us so bad that they fell over. They didn't even hang up. We just heard them laughing, and after 30 seconds of laughing, we were like, man, they're not hanging up. I guess I'll hang up.
Well, I will say when you get into that, when you talk about what you think someone says, it's always subjective. So when we leave into that, somebody else can say the complete opposite. So it's really just depending on how you feel about it. What we do have to go off of is what he said.
Right.
And he hasn't said anything otherwise. So to what we know, despite what we may think, that is what he is saying about his quarterback.
True. If by some, I don't think it'll happen, but God forbid, if Kevin O'Connell does get fired and then the Vikings go in a different direction at quarterback next year, I really don't think Kevin O'Connell is going to be out there talking to his GM, trying to make phone calls like, hey, can we get J.J. McCarthy over here? Because, he just got me fucking fired from my last job, so let's do that again. No.
Are you sure? Remember, Sean Payton did what he did to get Bo Nix. Don't underestimate a coach and a guy they love.
Bo Nix is actually good.
But again, that's based off of your opinion.
All right, we got to move on to the next game, guys.
Right. But
yeah, give me the Vikings. No, what am I saying? Give me the Jets. Giants. The other shitty team.
The G-men.
The other shitty team that plays in New Jersey.
There you go. Well, I got the Giants on this one because I actually like Jackson Dart, and I love watching him play. Even though he stopped me from getting $115 this weekend with 2 bad throws to Wan'Dale Robinson to end the game against the Commanders, I just needed the 5 yards. That's all. But it's okay. I got the Giants. We're going to go to the next one. We'll save that topic for the coach of Kevin O'Connell and how you view quarterbacks. That might be a topic for Friday or an upcoming
All right, this is a
Friday.
good game right here.
I got you. Thank you. Come down. Right. You know what? My guy is telling me I need to move on. I was about to give us praise about the Gauntlet to get ready to look on Friday to talk about that topic. But now we got a team. Both teams looking for the NFC South. Both teams have lost to the same team in the last just as many weeks, and now they're facing off against each other. They have 2 of the last 3 matchups against each other. So, Who wins this one, James Tatum?
The Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers. They messed up. They done messed up. They had a golden opportunity in front of them. They let it get away. So when you do stuff like that, you pay the price. So the Buccaneers are going to win this game, and they will go on to win the division.
Okay. Dom?
Yeah, I agree with what James said. I was going to say I'll pick the Panthers because they're at home. And I'm not going to call the Panthers a sinking ship, but they did blow a golden opportunity. And, rarely are those chances given twice. So I think they blew it, and it's now the Buccaneers division to win. Give me the Bucs and cover.
Jay?
You know what? My heart really wants to take the Panthers on this one because it's hard to trust how the Buccaneers lost last Thursday. Kirk O'Chain's coming back on you in the 4th quarter. Yeah, that's no bueno, But also, the Panthers did have a layup, and they blew that lick. So, you know what? I'm going against the grain. I'm going to take the Panthers in this one. But if they slip this one, that might be it. The Panthers have a tougher finish because they've got Seattle next, while the Buccaneers have the Dolphins. So these next 2 weeks is really going to be telling. But I'm going to take Carolina in this one.
Queen Ewers and the Dolphins.
I do think we need to get past the point of how we look at Carolina Panthers and not just like, if they win this game, it'd be kind of crazy and stuff. I think they've shown enough that they could compete at the level with the teams in the front of their division because they gave this team a run. They lost to a team that had a hiccup that the very team they're facing had the same hiccup. And then they just lost to Kirk Cousins' Atlanta Falcons, who the Panthers destroyed. So it's not as if that this is a Panther team that wouldn't surprise the teams if they beat this Buccaneer squad. So I wouldn't even say you're going against the grain for taking them, because I'm actually going to take them, because I do think that they are a team that is competing. They've had some slip-ups, but it is says something. You could take, I don't mind a morale victory. You say they had to come from behind to beat us at the last second and we slipped up. Because that way you can look at yourself and like, all right, what did we do wrong here? We won't do wrong here. I got Carolina winning this one, and I got them taking the control of the division, trying to keep in pace as they face the Seattle Seahawks next week. And don't think just because you're playing a team with a better record that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will run through the Miami Dolphins. They both play in the cold, the heat weather. So the weather is going to affect the Miami in a positive way as opposed to a negative way, which it just did. Moving on, we have our next game coming up.
Yeah, this one might be quick.
Make it if you feel like. Go ahead, guys. Start it off, because I don't really care about either one of these squads. I done took like
One of these.
At
Who
the end
gives
of the
a
day,
fuck ball?
to be honest,
that is not Tua. That is Quinn Ewers. Tua has
right,
been a man.
right. And I will say this: at the end of the day, little word to the wise to the Bengals people and stuff like that. I told you guys we didn't play our best game when you beat us the first game. We had so many uncharacteristic things, and it let Joe Burrow get that confidence in themselves. Call it a shutout? I think so. But go ahead, Dom. You get a good chance to kick it. You started the conversation. Who you got?
Give me the Bengals. Quinn Ewers. No, thank you. Homeboy down there, the cokehead. What's it? I always forget that dude's name. McDonald? McDaniel. Yeah, that dude's grasping at straw. Oh, see what I did there? Grasping at straws.
Boom.
Okay.
That
Who
was
do you
totally
have?
inadvertent too. Yeah. Even if Tua was playing, I would not be taking the Dolphins. But Quinn Ewers, is he a rookie? No. Is he?
Yes, he's a rookie.
Okay, so he's a rookie. Did he start some games earlier in the year? Tua's had to have missed some games, hasn't he? I've not been paying attention to the Dolphins this year. They've had a couple nice wins, but that's a bad team with a coach probably on the tail end of his lame duck tenure. Yeah, give me the Bengals, and by more than 2.5. Maybe a big win here, like 30-10. That's if the Dolphins even scored 30-8.
Yeah.
James?
I'm going to take the Bengals. I think they're in a situation where they're trying to build and get some momentum for next season. They're probably going to have a coaching change. Zach Taylor probably not going to survive another year. So I think the Bengals need to, be professional about the situation. Don't give up on the season just because you're eliminated. And I think they do that.
Interesting enough, if anything, our Bengals do have interesting offseason. I will say, whatever happens with Joe Burrow, I would ask him, was it worth it? Was everything that you did to think this was going to be the answer, was it worth it? Because 3 years ago, y'all didn't expect to be here. I don't think so.
Well, he missed the entire season. So that also has an impact on it.
Very true, but again, it's the recurring theme that seems to be happening because of same thing. He gets injured because they can't protect him. They haven't been able to protect him, so that's why I asked, was it worth it? At what point in time, if you get rid of the coach, you just got the same problem because that person up front, that GM, is the one picking these players. Pick some right players, and maybe your guy can be happy. But maybe that's neither here nor there. You can look at the team that just beat you to see how you can maintain something. Even as bad as they are, they're still better than you. Now, Jay, who you got?
Oh,
Yes, I'm throwing shade at
Bengals.
Cincinnati.
It's Quinn Ewers versus the quarterback that's not having fun. Give me the quarterback that's not having fun. Maybe he can have a little bit of fun feasting on the Dolphins. They real quick went from winning streak to the bottom falling out. They ran into Pittsburgh and they lost and their season was over. And them boys were streaking. But did anyone really have Miami making the postseason in the first place? We'll see what Quinn Ewers can do. But, yeah, go ahead and give me the Bengals.
I'll give it to them, even though, they are who they are. I'll give it to the Bengals. I will say from a sports bet standpoint, this is a good game, too. Neither defense can stop the other. And I do think the running game of Devin Achane is going to fuel and make it a little bit better for Miami to compete. Okay, so we have those teams, AFC North and AFC South. Who do we have coming up in our next game? I think we're coming down to the closer to the end of the stretch. We have two very good teams going against each other with a lot to play for. Denver's trying to maintain that number one seed, and Jacksonville is now the division favorite with Houston on their back. Jacksonville, I don't know if you've seen, they have a running back named Travis Etienne that had gone off last week. He might be a gauntlet grinder this week. Am I foreshadowing? I don't know. But now, let's go down to the AFC South brother himself. Who do you have winning this game?
I'm going to take the Broncos in this one, but it might be close, But and this is one of those where it's not one of those so much where it was, if it was in Mile High, I'll take Denver. If it was in Duval County, I'll take Jacksonville. I just think that Denver is the outright better team in this one. And also, I'm hoping for a loss by Jacksonville, so there's that. But no, I trust the Broncos in this one. I know the Broncos might be due for a heat check. I don't think it's going to happen this week, but I got it close, though. I do have it close. Give me the Broncos, 28-23.
Okay. John, oh, dang, my word jumble's going crazy. James.
I'm gonna take Jacksonville to get the upset right here.
Nice, bad. I can see that this is a James-like pick because they kind of
I
similar.
just think they're due for a loss. And Trevor Lawrence had a great game last week. I don't think I've ever seen him play like that before. And Travis Etienne has had a really good season, as you said. So I'm gonna take the Jags to get the upset right here.
Brian Thomas back off a milk carton as well.
Dom.
Nice.
Who you got?
I'm going to go contrary to what Jay said. I'm going to take the Broncos because it's at Mile High. If it was in Jacksonville, I don't know. I want to be right going back to 2022 about Trevor Lawrence, that was the real Trevor Lawrence. He had a historical game last week. First quarterback ever. What do you have? 5 TD passes and a sixth rushing.
Yeah.
I think that's never happened in NFL history. He is by himself in that statistical feat. Yeah, give me the Broncos. Obviously, they both need this game. Jags need it a little bit more than the Broncos, but yeah, give me the Broncos at home.
Okay. So we have 2 Jacksonville and 1 Broncos. That's interesting. I am going to go with the Broncos. I'll make a split here, but I will take Jacksonville to cover because I think they're going to have to win based off of a field goal, or Jacksonville's going to try to go for 2 to tie the game, and they don't. Because I have this score being around 23-21, because I think both the defenses are actually pretty good. They do enough to make the team stop getting their tracks. They don't get a chance to get too many points in the red zone, and their offenses can move the football. Trevor Lawrence is getting rushing touchdowns almost like he's Jalen Hurts, but he's not. But I've got the Denver Broncos winning this game. So what do we got next? I do believe, if I know what stands correctly, we have the Falcons. That's not what I thought was going to be the next game, but that's okay. We have the Atlanta Falcons with the Cardinals. I don't know if we're going to have too much to speak on to this one, but James Tatum, Falcons or Cardinals?
Sheesh. I don't know, man. I guess I'll take the Falcons. Had a really good win. What's his name? Raheem Morris was very emotional after that game. So I think they're just trying to finish the season on a high note.
There you go. Dominic DeRubeis.
It's so funny that he put Angry Birds, because I was going to say, as soon as this came up, I'm like, oh, it's the battle of the flightless birds, even though both Falcons and Cardinals can fly, but they're looking more like Angry Birds, whereby the only way you see them soaring through the sky is after they get released from a slingshot. Neither one of these teams have done really a whole lot this year.
All right. So I think he might have checked out a little bit. When he comes back in, he'll go ahead and finish his pick. So we had James, who picked the Falcons. Dom picks, he's going to pick. Jay, who you have?
I'm going to pick the birds, the black ones. The Cardinal season is shot. Let's see. No, Kyler. I know Jacoby Brissett has been, kind of balling a bit, but I don't think it's enough to get it done. The Cardinals very well may lose out. The Falcons, like Dom said, they're trying to finish the season on a high note, And Kirk Cousins, Raheem Morris did announce that the future of the quarterback position in Atlanta is in the air. So they don't know if they're going to go back to Kirk next year or if they're going to ride with Penix. Unknown. But this is Kirk's time to show that he still got it as a starter. Would be the remainder of the season. And I think this is one more game. He gets it done. Last week he did. They walked into their trap. They took over their trap, just like the chant said. But I'm going to take the Falcons in this one, 24-14.
It's funny that you guys talk about how people say that Kirk Cousins still got it. I just think of Dorothy when she told Stan, "You never had it," but that's neither here nor there. But that's the little thing right there. He got Kirk Cousins, and them possibly getting this game. I think this is I would personally not go with leaving from Michael Penix, but that's between them. But I have the Falcons winning this game too. But I think Bijan's going to have a Bijan-like game because after an early stretch in the middle of the year, he was looking really like competing with Jahmyr Gibbs and all them. Kind of slowed down, hit a little bit. They kind of the only person they focus on. Losing Drake London and Penix kind of changed the game a little bit for him, but he still does his thing. But I've got the Falcons win this game. Mr. Dom DeRubeis, you're back with us. I'm glad to see that, man. Who do you have? What are you going to finish with this one?
I took the Falcons at the beginning, didn't I? The Battle of the Angry Birds.
You might have. I thought you may.
Yeah, he did. He took the Falcons.
So we all have a Falcons sweep. There we go. Moving on. What's our next game we got going on? This is interesting. Dom DeRubeis. I have to excuse myself for a second. So tee this up for us, please.
Okay, Steelers, Lions in Detroit. Absolute must win for my team. Steelers, kind of sort of them too. I'll have more to say about the quarterback specifically on Friday in a certain famous topic. Jared Goff said some things that it took exception to this week. More on that on Friday, but we have to win this game. I assume that we will win this game. I've not really paid any attention to the Steelers defense. TJ Watt isn't hurt or anything, is he?
No, he had a collapsed lung or something like that. But he's expected to come back and play the season. I don't know if he's going to be back for the Lions. I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I would say that if he does play, that could affect things. But yeah, this is a game that we absolutely have to have. We have to win out and get some help just to make the playoffs after a 15-2 season. Plus, we lost last week, and Dan Campbell does not lose 2 games in a row. Unfortunately, this year, since October, he doesn't win 2 games in a row either. Yeah, give me the Lions.
Okay. He's got to win 2 games in a row because he hasn't won in a while. All right.
I'm glad I'm not the only one suffering.
Thank you for teeing that up for us ever so kindly, Mr. Dominic DeRubeis. James Tatum, break it down.
The Lions are about to whip that ass. Let me tell you something about this game. The Pittsburgh Steelers does not have the offensive firepower to compete with what the Detroit Lions have. Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Sam Laporta, Jamison Williams, Amara St. Brown. They don't have it. They got DK Metcalf. And who's their next best offensive weapon?
Kenneth Gainwell. Ty Warren.
Exactly. So do you think that the Steelers is going to be able to win a game and match the Lions' scoring? Does anybody think that?
No, I don't.
I actually, knowing that team for all 10, I think
the one going to fuck around and pick the Steelers.
No, I'm not. The reason why I'm saying that I think it's like this because the one thing that they have always been able to do is have the heart to stay in a game that they probably shouldn't. That's the only thing that's what they pride themselves on. Talent for talent, they're not. I'm not saying that they will, but I'm saying that I know this team enough that if it happens, I'm not surprised.
31-14 Lions.
Okay.
Eagles legend.
I'd like, but to that point though, James got the Lions. Dom's got the Lions. Jay, do you have the Lions?
Yep. Roar,
All right.
Lions, roar. Yes, and
Roll Lions.
I'll actually expand on that with the next game coming up
Even though
because
the
I
roar at the
personally
stadium
think
sounds like a
that
toilet flushing.
I personally think that the AFC North is going to come down to Week 18. But I'm going to take the Lions in this one. The Steelers might make it interesting in the first half, but ultimately I got Lions. Give me the Lions 30-14.
I think the one thing I will say, I probably would do an alternate spread with this to have a Steelers plus 5.5 because I don't necessarily think it's going to be a beatdown, but I do think that they'll lose this game because the one thing I've noticed about Jared Goff a lot of times that Pittsburgh can do, pressure. Pressure can get to Jared Goff, and the Steelers, even without TJ Watt, can still generate pressure. They have Alex Highsmith, and it's something about their whole ability and their culture. And even though Mike Tomlin's on the hot seat, he still approaches it with professionalism, and they can rally behind that. To answer James's question, the one team that they do look at is Kenneth Gainwell is the guy that he relies on the most after that, but he also uses tight ends. I got the Lions to win this game, but I'll take the Steelers at 5.5. Let's go over to our next game. This is the game that I thought we were going to talk about 2 games ago, but I was a little bit ahead of myself. We have the Sunday night matchup between the AFC second place Ravens versus the first place Patriots tied with the Buffalo Bills. But this is a classic team that if you back into like 2010s to early 2000s, this was a Sunday night matchup anytime these teams faced each other. And now they renew it again with Drake May going against Lamar Jackson, who Drake May said he has taken some things that he's seen Lamar Jackson do and added to his game. And so it's good to see these two up-and-coming quarterbacks play off against each other. I'm going to be real quick with this one. I don't think my team is going to win this game. I do think that I could see them winning it, but I don't think they will because I don't like the discipline I've seen with them a lot of the case, and I do know what I'm about to get from my man, Mr. Mike Vrabel. And I think with the way Trayvon Henderson can play, with the way that Keyshawn Boutte and Stephon Diggs are excellent route runners, I just think it's going to be a really tough matchup for them. The offense is going to keep up because I think our offense has got it's going, but I've got the Patriots winning this game 27-24. Now I'm going to go down to Mr. J. Who you got?
I'm actually going to take the Ravens in this one because, like I said in my previous take, I'm looking at a Steelers loss and a Ravens win because I believe that the AFC North will come down to Week 18. Ravens a 3-point home fave. I'm not too stunned at that line, but you know what? I'm gonna need Lamar to get back to MVP Lamar. Have Derrick Henry get rolling again. This is not sitting here saying that the Patriots are frauds or anything like that. They're having an amazing season. But I think the Ravens are going to pull this one out. Give me the Ravens 28-24. So, yes, I have them covering.
Interesting spread on that one. The interesting thing you say about that, because it is, yes, it's nothing to do with the Patriots, but it's a test that would have been a test. It's a test regardless of the record because of who is playing on the Ravens squad. Yes, they're 7-8-7. 7-7. I think we're 7-7. I honestly haven't been able to. I've followed the record, but I don't. But they're 7-7.
Yeah.
They're 7-7 team that most people came in expecting to be 9-5 or 10-4 at this point. I would say, and so they're not exactly the worst team that is coming in 7-7. James Tatum, and then we end with Dom on this one. James Tatum, who you got here?
We got the Patriots to win this game. They lost to Buffalo, had a big lead, and I think that was their first kind of taste of like a playoff level atmosphere. So this is going to be a big game, big test for a young team. I think it is a primetime game as well.
Yep.
So This is a big moment for the Patriots. If they don't win this game, I don't know if you can take them seriously as a contender in the playoffs. After losing that game to Buffalo, which was a big game, and then losing another game like this in a big spot against an AFC opponent that's experienced, that's been in the playoffs the last few years, and has been perceived as one of the top teams, you got to show up. So I'm counting on the Patriots. I'm counting on Drake May. Mike Vrabel has, coached in some big games as well. Has been to an AFC Championship with the Titans. So we gotta see that from the Patriots, and I think this is a great test for them to do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll with the Patriots on this one in a close game.
You know what? Interesting you say about that is because their coach actually has beaten the Ravens in a playoff matchup, and he's going against the same coach. And when you face the Ravens a lot of times, and you face a lot of teams, coaching does matter. So that's something that the Patriots have working in their favor. Dom, finish us off with this game. Patriots or the Ravens?
I was so hoping that James was going to take the Ravens so that JJ was going to lone wolf against his own team. But for the reasons that Jay mentioned, and like I've been saying for several weeks now, no one seems to want to win this division. So that theory says if Pittsburgh loses, that means the Ravens have to win to tighten that race up again. And going along the same lines of what James was just saying about this being a big spot for the Patriots and people not taking them seriously if they lose another one, that's kind of where I'm at with it. Ravens are kind of desperate. Patriots not so much. Bigger spot for the Patriots. No, it's a big spot for both of them. Yeah. I'll take the experience of the coaching staff and the quarterback of the Ravens, and it's at home, and they need this.
It's a big spot for both of them, but I'm saying this Patriots team has not been in a situation like this in a very long
for
time.
sure. That's why I'm taking the Ravens.
There you go. Okay, we have 2 Patriots, 2 Ravens. To our final game. Monday, we have the 49ers against the unfortunate Colts that have. But you know what? That owner, her positive reinforcement could help you through this storm. But let's make it quick because we're at the end of the way, about almost at the 1 hour, 15-minute mark. Real quick, round up. Do we have the Colts winning? Anybody got the Colts winning this game? For Phillip Rivers?
No.
Okay. Nobody's got the Colts winning. Anybody think they're going to cover?
No.
I got the Niners covering.
You have the Niners covering? James, you got the Niners covering?
I got the Colts covering.
I'm with James on this one. I got the Colts covering because I think this is going to be a great defensive battle where it's going to be about how you manage the game. Now, don't get me wrong. The 49ers are trying to keep pace with the Seahawks and the Rams because they still think they can win the division. Interesting enough. But all of us on the 49ers, that concludes our year. Our month. Oh, my gosh. Look at me, guys. You know me. All over the place. That concludes.
See you next year, buddy.
See you next year, people. Well, not next year. Actually, yes, next year. Because next Wednesday, we will be our families. Maybe we could see each other at the beginning of the new year. We start the day with.
We're going to be delivering gifts.
There you know. But all in all, everybody, shout out to all of our fans, Wyatt, Bacon Grizzler. Shout out to anyone that is new to us. We really appreciate you guys being with us. Come back again in about a couple weeks, and we'll be back on to talk about NFL picks, more than likely postseason. Thanks again, guys. Y'all have a great one, and we're out.
Santa Baby is the greatest Christmas song of all time.
Oh, my God.
Maybe.
Just never forget Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
Thank you.